The moment we've been dreading is here. Paramount Plus released the new Monster High movie, that of which is supposed to kick off the new generation. We've talked about possibly everything we could with the leaks and the trailers, but now we have to see if our expected disappointment is justified. Or maybe it's not as bad as we thought. Now, when approaching these videos, I usually have to take two mindsets. That my skeleton isn't even in frame. Now, in making these videos, I have to take on two mindsets. The perspective of the long-term fan, like us, and the potential new fans that this movie may create. And the real goal I have, at the end of the day, is that I hope it creates new fans and is a successful movie so that we can have Monster High continue being alive. I'm walking into this movie not expecting it to be made for long-term fans. This is a hard reset for Monster High. That became very obvious once we saw the dolls for the new generation of Monster High. It's why I appreciate the Mattel Creation dolls, since they know they can't just ignore the longtime fans, since that's probably the majority of their fan base right now. They know that we're older and have disposable income, and are instead making higher quality dolls for us to buy, alongside a new series of mainline dolls for the shelves of Target and Walmart. We just have to deal with the new dolls being from the new generation. I honestly feel that in terms of the products right now, this was the most logical choice from the company's perspective. I do have the issue where they only use Instagram to ever promote any of their stuff. And if you don't use Instagram on a regular basis, you miss the announcements like I have, even though I signed up for the Mattel Creations newsletter. For some reason, I'm not getting it. And I only have Haute Couture Frankie, even though I really, really wanted Draculaura, Claudine, and Cleo. But at least for the time being, we have cool mini backpacks. And now that I've used that for a video, I can use it as an expense in my taxes. But doll fans know the drama and the upset. We literally breathe on this stuff. So let's be hesitantly optimistic and check out the new movie. And yes, I have short hair now. And now you'll see how much I prep my videos in advance over the course of the next 3 months. Because in those videos, I have long hair, and you can watch them all in advance on my Patreon. First, we need to establish that these guys are cool, and what better way to do that than with skateboards? Obviously, the purple one is Claudine, and people freak out, but come on, everyone would have just laughed at her for being a furry in public if they saw her ears. Claudine has been accepted into Monster High, but her dad is like, you're a half monster. You're gonna get bullied.
You've got to find your place in the world.
Can we pause for a second and recognize that this dude straight up is living the self-insert X werewolf fantasy in real life? Respect. We all know that if monsters were real, there would be plenty of people willing to accept them into society, and into their homes, and into their bedrooms. We waste no time getting to Monster High.
The school is serious about keeping humans out, and if anything goes wrong, you can always come home. I'll be awake.
Okay, jokes aside, the dad's sweet. Insert first song. And those special effects don't look all that great when she's slowly walking through the portal. Yikes. And the kids are just casually dancing to the song that she made up on the spot. Probably theater kids.
The performance here must be exemplary.
No pressure.
No, there is pressure. Don't think they won't call me all the time asking how you're doing.
The song is a solid, C grade. Frankie is still the same. Looks like they're making it to where the main three are all supposed to be different fears when entering a new school. Pressure to perform, fear of being a freak, as well as not knowing what the heck you're doing.
Ready to make some more mischief?
Oh, so he does have snakes for hair. Well, at least that's one fear quelled.
The Founders Council has heard credible reports that witchcraft is secretly being practiced on campus.
I'm sorry, but now that Wicca is so normalized, this just sounds ridiculous.
We must do all we can to keep this disgusting human practice away from our children.
Oh, so that's your angle. It's a human thing, and humans are gross. All right, I can play along. This makes more sense. I think the weirdest thing I'm gonna have to get used to is Ghoulia talking. I'm really curious how they'll do her character, but that aside, I'll admit the amount of effort they put into the world and setting. The school being alive and the set design is well done. Anyway, they're roommates, typical way for them to meet each other, but it works. What I can't get behind is how they changed Draculaura's character. She isn't fun and bubbly.
So please, keep to your side of the room and I won't have to suck all your blood out.
I do appreciate how they really lean into Frankie being 15 days old and not knowing anything. Very fish out of water, but it makes sense.
Also, what's a movie?
Deuce and... In my script, I wrote Deuce and Gorgon are broken up. Deuce and Cleo are broken up, and it's upsetting Cleo. Cleo is still Cleo. Her character is the same. Laguna's character is largely unchanged as well.
Claudine, there is a very attractive monster staring at you.
Standing up to Cleo like that? Courageous move. I'm Deuce.
And here we go. At least we have the potential that it'll end up with Deuce and Cleo back together like we want it to. I'm hoping this is just to get Cleo to really target them for bullying and be the primary antagonist or something. But we have to wait and see.
Knock much?
Lock the door much? Claudine can't stay in human form for some reason, so we know they'll eventually reveal to the school that she's half human, and the school does a creepy expel the enemy, which I'm guessing they'll all think is Claudine, but eventually find out it isn't her, because why would it be her? The school, literally the sentient alive school, accepted her and showed her to her room. You know, I realize this is the exact same setup as Hotel Transylvania. We make a safe haven for monsters because humans mean. Insert the next song. But it's great because it's a lame teacher song that teaches history to connect to the students, and they talk about Jekyll and Hyde, which is smart, but they literally just crap on humans. They really hammer in the human bad in the beginning of this movie. At least the song is more of a B grade, so we got that.
He was always trying to cure his humanness. Rumor has it that he built a secret lab right here on campus.
When Claudine gets scared enough, she turns back into human, and of course, Frankie finds out Claudine's secret. But Frankie doesn't really care, mostly because they don't understand how it is having the risk of being hunted down and killed. They have Hyde's diary, but it's written in code, and Frankie starts decoding it, and they start piecing together the secret lab that Hyde hid. Oh. My bad. Apparently it wasn't vandalism, wink wink, and wasn't the school doing that, wink wink. It's that teacher. It's the nerd with the glasses. Are you kidding me? He vandalized it. Or not. You know, I still don't know if it's supposed to be the school. It has to be the school. Why would they say it's vandalism? I think he just lied to Bloodgood that it was vandalism. It's the school. The school did that blood thing. He has a whole song where he talks about how he hates humans, and he's the only character so far that wasn't part of the previous generation. He's a whole new character. Bloodgood literally says, oh, it may not even be a student who vandalized this, blah, 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 wink, wink. It may be a teacher or staff member like him.
Just a nice guy.
I couldn't help it over here. You have a crush on Deuce?
And here we go.
First clue on Jekyll and Hyde's diary is the graveyard.
Will you get off my bed? I'm trying to sleep.
This is the kind of humor I like. Well done. And I guess Ghoulia still does that weird moaning thing, so that's something, I guess. And they find Draculaura practicing witchcraft. So now there's two people who have secrets, and they can blackmail each other to keep their mouths shut. The foundation to a great friendship.
Wait, what are you doing here?
And the next song, you know, if they're in the graveyard and they're monsters, does this make it a monster mash? Because it looks like it could be a real graveyard smash. I want to smash in a graveyard. Anyway, the song is very empowering friendship stuff, so even though the song is catchy, the theme of the song is very bland, so it gets another C grade. We then have a little segment where they need to work together to gather ingredients for a witch potion spell thing, so they can break into the lab in the graveyard.
Just one more ingredient left to find. Snake venom.
I know where we can find some. It's just not gonna be easy. Pretty sure this is...
Ha! Okay, this is good. Nice one. You know, I'm not sure what it is, but you can feel when a show is produced by Nickelodeon. Like, if you didn't know it was produced by Nickelodeon, you wouldn't think much of it, but when someone tells you this was produced by Nickelodeon, you go, yeah, that makes sense. Like with the new Power Rangers. It just feels different. I'm not sure what it is or even how to put it into words. And while they're getting ingredients, Deuce has his own song about being insecure and acting cool, which the theme of the song is more my speed, you know, sad boy stuff, but the eyes part is difficult to swallow, so you lose points there. Solid B. Come on, I'm waiting for an A. They do the spell and nothing happens.
But we have a much more serious problem. Our unnatural order has been offended.
Headmistress.
Witchcraft.
Oh dang. And then the school throws a hissy fit and tries to kill Cleo, but Claudine saves her. Claudine ditches school, thinking that she's the reason everyone's being put in danger, but then her friends immediately find her. Literally no time passes. And then, you know, friendship speech, pep talk moment, you know how it goes. Emotional turmoil, she slaps her hand in the mud, and oh my gosh, all they needed was a human hand to get into Jekyll and Hyde's lab, almost like he knew there would never be another human, and that's how he defended himself, by exploiting the one thing he had that no one else did. OMG, it worked. That is so surprising. Quick question. They're in a graveyard. Now, I'm assuming this graveyard is largely filled with monsters, but if there are any humans whatsoever, couldn't they just dig up someone and use their hand? That was the first thing I thought of when I saw, yes, a handprint and a field of unused hands. I'm just saying. Turns out, the rumors were true. The formula is there. But she has flashes of her dad and she's thinking, gosh, if I take this, I'm basically giving a big middle finger to my dad. She knows humans aren't bad. Oh my gosh, the nerd teacher is there. Whoa.
I'm part human too.
He convinces her to give it up, and then he takes it himself.
My name is Hyde. Hyde Jr., technically.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. What a twist. Okay, I literally didn't see him being Hyde's son, so that did catch me off guard, but like in broad strokes, we all saw that he was the bad guy.
Claudine, you get an A+.
Yeah, well, that's about the only thing in this movie that's getting an A+. He explains that the formula turns you into the ultimate monster, where he can suck other monsters' powers away, and he wants to destroy the school for what it did to his dad. Oh man, Deuce's Gorgon powers were used against him and turned to stone. Oh no, Claudine turns human in front of her classmates. The big secret is revealed. Oh no, the school is throwing another hissy fit. But at least Cleo realizes that Claudine isn't a horrible person, given that she saved her life. Oh my gosh, she's being discriminated against because she's a mudblood.
Kinda hard to take my monster powers when I'm only human. I know exactly what powers you have. Smile.
No. What have you done?
That's it. That's how you resolve the conflict. That is so anticlimactic. Really? All their powers goes back to them. Main characters are all fine, because of course they are, and also the headmistress finds out Claudine is part human. Hey, they let her dad come to the school, that's nice. Bloodgood realizes that the school is chill with Claudine, so they should be too. Maybe the temper tantrum of a school isn't the best metric to determine if you should be prejudiced or not.
From now on, true Monster Heart will mean exactly that. Who you truly are on the inside.
Another song that's mediocre at best, but I don't know, the message of the movie is nice, so I guess I'll give it to them. I wouldn't buy any of the songs to listen to on my own, but it works well for the movie.
A vampire practicing witchcraft, so you must be the very best witch ever.
And it looks like the next movie is gonna focus on Draculaura? You know those low-budget Halloween movies like Scary Godmother and Halloween Town? And they weren't necessarily good, but they were really fun to watch and you could always look forward to them during this time of year, every year. This movie gives me that vibe. It's a little cliche, but in a fun way. The movie was okay. I think it's fair to say it's not a garbage fire like we were all expecting it to be. I'm holding out hope that the animated series is going to be better than the movie, but all things considered, I can't actually say that I hated the movie. It was very predictable. Oh, painfully predictable. But I don't think it was bad. The ending was bad. That ending sucked. I hated that ending. Other than that, I had a good time watching it. And you gotta admit, the locations and the sets for this movie was awesome. They did a great job with the decorations and all that stuff. Looking at it from the perspective of an older fan, it's okay, yeah. I wouldn't write home about it, but it's worth watching once. As the perspective of a new fan, you know, I think this is actually a decent jumping off point for the next generation. And it was definitely smart to release this in October, since if it's not a good Monster High movie, it's at least a good Halloween movie. I think I could get used to the new generation. It'll take me longer to get used to Draculaura's change of character, and even longer to get used to Claudine's change of character. But in the end, I'm really just happy that Monster High is back. Tell me what you think of the movie. What did you like and what did you didn't like? I have a Patreon where you can get stickers and trading cards on a monthly basis, and you can see all my videos in advance before anyone else. Sometimes months in advance, guys. I work really hard on getting these out for my patrons. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay beautiful and keep playing.